You made a great point on a recent video. I'm not sure which video. It might have been your aerodynamic gravel video, where people that are slower make the judgment that maybe aero gains aren't worth it because the watt saving is significantly less, but they fail to factor in that they're going to be on course for much longer. So a smaller watt saving actually amounts to a greater overall time saving.
Yeah, so this is pretty shocking to people when I tell them, and I had some people actually message me after that video saying, I think you got the calculations wrong, and I said, no, the calculations aren't wrong. This is correct, and actually in one of Specialized's wind tunnel videos, they explain this phenomenon. But in my gravel aero video, I talked about savings at Unbound, and I think I was talking about how going to the drops would save you 9 minutes. If you go from the hoods to the drops, it would save you 9 minutes over the Unbound distance. If you were going, I think it was 35 kilometers per hour. Now, 35 kilometers per hour is reasonable for the pros at Unbound, but it's not reasonable for your everyday cyclist who's just trying to finish Unbound. So that cyclist is probably doing 25 kilometers per hour. Aero, and that cyclist would probably assume aero doesn't really matter. I'm going so slow anyway. But actually, that rider would save 12 minutes over the Unbound distance. Even though they're saving far fewer watts, they're just out on the course for so much longer.
And what's the difference if someone moves down from drops onto skis, aero bars?
Yeah, so I believe that the drops were a 13 watt savings at 35 kilometers per hour over the hoods, and then going down onto aero bars was over 40 watts savings.
Holy shit, that's big.
It is big. It is big. So, it gets into this whole conversation about Spirit of Gravel and, whether you should be running aero bars or not. I don't know. I've always just been if it's faster, I'm going to do it kind of guy. That's always been my primary consideration.
One of the wildest decisions I've seen in a long time is the decision from Unbound to, when I initially read it, I thought I read it wrong because they stopped the pro elite riders using aero bars, but it's okay for the age groupers and the rest of the field. I'm like, I'm sure you've had the experience of being on a group ride and someone who's a newbie triathlete comes out on the group ride on their aero bars and you're like, oh, dude, that's not safe. Like, don't be in the aero bars. You're a newbie. This is like pretty dangerous stuff.
Right.
And then you add in gravel to the mix. I don't think it's a great safety idea to allow newbies on aero bars on gravel, like full stop. But then to ban the only guys in the race who are arguably capable of using this equipment safely from using them. It just seems so bizarre.
So this might be a little controversial, but I will give you my opinion on that whole ruling. So the claim for banning aero bars is safety, right? So if you ban the aero bars for pros and not everyone else, you've completely thrown your safety argument out the window, because if there's anybody who's able to handle their bike on gravel with aero bars, it's the pros. And so the reality of the situation is they didn't ban aero bars for safety. They banned aero bars because certain pros were whining about the aero bars for so long that finally they just caved. They're like, all right, fine, we'll do it. We'll ban aero bars. So it really was not safety. It was just certain pros whining about it.
So if you like this video, you should definitely check out this video because I know you're going to love it. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel.